Hey everyone, I'm the Miniac, and today I have a special treat for you. This is a 2005 Mini Cooper S Convertible. This is the first year of the R52 convertible, and this is a really nice one. This is, I believe it's called Hot Orange. So precursor to the spiced orange and a full line of orange cars that came after. Black top, some odd aftermarket taillights, we'll talk about those later. Orange accented interior. Pretty basic stuff for a Cooper S. But this is going to be a little bit special. We're going to talk a little bit about what to look for when buying one of these and why I think this is actually not a terrible buy. I think it's a good buy. So we'll talk a little bit about that. So like everything with the R53 and the first generation and the R52s, you got to know that the hood release is over here in the passenger footwell. That's because they didn't want to make things too complicated when they brought the cars over, so they didn't switch everything over. So opening that up, you'll come into the engine bay. Standard 1.6 liter supercharged engine, putting out about 158, 160 horsepower. The owner has already replaced the coolant expansion tank because it failed. It's a known problem with these cars, and he replaced it with a really nice one made of metal. Highly recommend doing that actually with these cars. One thing he hasn't done yet that he is planning on is, these cars are notorious for strut mount failure, and this one has done just that. If you look carefully in there, you can see where the mounts have torn, and that's because of speed bumps or just hitting anything in the road, potholes usually. You can also see, if you look carefully, the strut towers have actually mushroomed up. This can be remedied with the Craven Speed strut tower defenders, which I highly recommend getting if you have a first generation Mini, and that should fix this problem. Then of course you got to replace the strut mounts, and I've done these before. They're not that difficult to do actually if you know what you're doing. You just got to be very careful, take your time, and do it correctly. The previous owner had done something here. I'm not exactly sure what this is. My guess it's something to do with the coolant system in the car, but I don't know why they did it this way. But that's something for the owner to take care of. NGK plug wires, which may mean there's NGK plugs in the car. Here's the thing about the ignition coils. I don't recommend replacing these actually. I recommend using OEM because like MSD ignition coils and so forth don't actually work that well. They perform probably just about as good as the standard ones. So I don't recommend getting rid of the original one and replacing. I recommend using an original one if you can. I do recommend replacing the spark plugs. And let's see if the owner, yep, there is an aftermarket pulley down there, so not sure which one it is. Could be Craven Speed, could be Alta. I'm inclined to think it's Craven Speed given its mounting hardware. It looks like it's using Allen bolts, which is synonymous with that. The other issues with these cars are the engine mounts. They sometimes fail. This one doesn't look too bad actually. And if you're a hardtop owner like I was, these Cabrio braces, here's diagonal braces, are really cool and highly sought after. Inside is a cloth and leatherette interior, more like almost a neoprene, I'd guess. The convertibles did this a lot where they color matched the exterior of the car just a little bit. I think they did orange and a blue. I don't know if they did all the colors, but not terrible. These are actually in pretty decent shape. They are obviously older seats, so you're gonna expect some wear. The lumbar support right here, recliner right here, not bad. These are heated seats as well. Original shifter, chrome interior trim. This one also has the chrono pack, which is this coolant temp gauge. You got your oil pressure, oil temperature, and then your fuel gauge right there. I had this in my first Mini and it was really cool. So that gave you what some people call the Mickey Mouse ears, which are the tach and the speedometer over the steering wheel. So I've never actually driven a Mini that hasn't had some form of speed up in front of the steering wheel so I could actually see it. There's also Harman Kardon sound system. This is highly sought after as well, which is great. Looks like he has the home link mirror as well, the 3 buttons back here, dimmer and everything, so that's nice. Now this car has several functions with the roof. It is a power cloth top, but let's see what these buttons do here. All right, so we're gonna check out the top, see how this works, because it actually has multiple functions. So I'm gonna roll up the windows, and then, oop. Okay, so we're gonna roll. We didn't roll up the windows. Let's try that again. Oh, there it goes. So we're gonna put the roof up. And completely close it. So the roof is now completely up on this car. Now what's cool about these is they have a sunroof feature. So if you just want part of the roof open, I think you'd push just that. Kind of cool. And then if you want the whole thing open, and it's completely down. So now you have open top motoring at its finest. The unique thing about most of the Mini convertibles is they have a tailgate.
It's locked.
Yeah. There we go. They have a tailgate. So not a lot of space in there, but when you swing these down the other way, you can actually open this to get into the trunk a little bit easier and get more stuff in there. So neat little feature that you don't find on most convertibles. So as far as Mini convertibles go, this one is actually pretty well equipped. And like most cars that are 13 years old, it has some wear. It has some cracking, weather stripping. That's easy to fix usually. You can just replace it. But otherwise, it's actually in really good shape. The paint is very nice. Like I said, the strut mount needs some help. The headlights are a little hazed over, but that's normal for a car of this age. And yes, there's rock chips on the front of it. That's pretty common for a Mini Cooper, especially given the fact that they have the aerodynamic characteristics of a brick. But all in all, this is actually a very good little car. Anyway, it's hotter than heck out here. I want to go home. I would encourage you all to, if you're looking for a convertible, I would definitely encourage you to check out the Mini Cooper convertible. You will not be disappointed. It's a lot of fun to drive. Doesn't matter which generation you buy. So until next time, the journey continues. Happy motoring, and I'll catch you later. This is in the blooper reel where you're pushing the button and the roof won't open. Why won't the roof open? I've just figured out that you can't open the roof. Not with this key right now.